Good morning, beautiful. Welcome to A Little Bit of Makeup and a Whole Lot of Jesus, this podcast where we are going to spend about 30 minutes putting our makeup on together, enjoying Jesus together, a little bit of beauty on the outside, a whole lot of beauty on the inside. The foundation for this podcast is Psalm 119, verse 11. There we go. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And then we've been learning a couple of verses together. So let's start out with the first episode verse we had. The first episode we had was the grass withers and the flowers fall, but the word of the Lord endures forever. And that comes from 1 Peter 1:24 and 25. And then last week we worked on I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength, and that is Philippians 4:13. So this week we've got a new verse. Our verse for this week is going to be God's grace is all you need, and that comes from 2 Corinthians 12, verse 9. All of our verses are coming from The Word in Color, which is a wire-bound coloring book. Got one here so you can see. So later on in the podcast or at the bottom of this, you'll see that there is a link for you to use. That is an affiliate link. So that's kind of like giving me a tip. If you'd use that, it'd be greatly appreciated. So let's just kind of jump into what we got going on for this week. You're going to see that verse scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Today we're going to be playing with a lot of different colors. I chose kind of orange. Well, no, not kind of orange. It is orange for this week. So we're going to be doing an orange look, but you can use whatever colors it is that you would like to accomplish your special look. So we're going to have a light shade, a medium shade, and a dark shade. Then we'll be using some eyeliners and lips and lip pencils. So, just use what you have and see what you can get to work together. And we'll use different colors every single week. So we are going to start out this week with our primer, my favorite, the Urban Decay All-Nighter. The one thing that's great about this is it does a beautiful job of giving your face a foundation for that foundation to stick to. It gives it a little bit of tack to it, not too much. And then it doesn't really have any oil control properties, but I don't know. To me, it just seems like it does a really good job of keeping my combo oily skin good throughout the day. So you see, it does kind of give you a little bit of glow in the beginning. Don't worry about that. That's going to just help that foundation to stick a little bit better. It does help it to last better throughout the day as well. Then we are going to conceal. We're going to use our Bye Bye Under Eye. I am using shade 11, which is the light nude. So we're just going to give kind of a little ribbon of that on our finger here. This does better when it's warmed up. So we're going to apply it. And then we're going to leave it on the face for just a minute to let that body temperature get that warmed up a little bit. I have a lot of redness to my skin. I don't particularly appreciate that. So we're going to let that just warm up there for a second on the skin. And then we are going to use our, there we go. We are going to use our beauty blender. This one is a Real Techniques. This is a, what is that one called? The Miracle Air Blend Sponge. The thing I like about this one is that, first off, I love the shape. But then it has, the pores are a little bit different on it compared to some other beauty blenders. So it doesn't absorb so much of your makeup. There is absolutely no sense in wasting makeup in your beauty blender. So let's have as much go on your face as possible. So we're just going to use that beauty blender to blend that out a little bit. I'm kind of using this like a primer on the lid. There you go. And my combo oily skin does kind of extend to my eyelids. So I like to put a little something on there before I do my eyeshadow, just so I don't end up with creasing. We're just going to blend this out a little so I don't end up with the pinkness from my cheeks. Making sure we get in the corner of the eye there. All right. And now we are going to use our Lancome Tinty Dull. This is shade number 215 Buff. Doesn't matter, whatever shade you are. If you don't know a good foundation shade for yourself, come by my store. We'll do a shade match for you and make sure that you're walking away with the perfect color for you. Okay, we're just going to give one little tiny, everything I do is going to be about this same amount right here. So we're going to section off and cover each part of the face with just that little bitty dot right there. So I'm going to start out with the center. Just blending that out. There we go. Now we're going to give ourselves another little dot. Here we go. Cover this part. Pull my hair back just a little bit. There we go. And now another little dot. There we go. Blending it up to where that concealer was so that concealer can do its job and the foundation just meets it right where it's at. There we go. Another dot. We're going to use this for the blend out to the neck. There we go. And another little dot, and that's going to do our forehead. Blending that into the hairline so we don't end up with any lines. There we go. All right. And now we are going to set that with our Lancome Long Time No Shine. I love this powder. Usually I just give it about 5 taps upside down like that, and it dispenses the right amount of powder into that. You know what? It helps if you take this part out first. Let me try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And then we're going to take this and we're just going to set that powder. I like to start under the eye first and work my way around there. Everybody has their own preferences. If you do not like powder, skip this step. I like kind of a medium satin sort of finish. Hey, I see a few of you online here with me. Thanks for joining me. Good to see you. Just going to cover every part of the face. You can do this with a brush if you like. I just hate all the flyaway that happens with a brush, so I try not to use a brush. And plus, I like pressing it into the foundation and into that primer so we can make sure that everything is covered really good. Okay, making sure to catch the corner of the eye. There we go. Okay, so now our foundation is all good to go. Let's do a little contouring, shall we? Today I'm going to use 3 different things. The first thing that we're going to start with is Cheek in the Mail. This is from Benefit Cosmetics. And we are going to be using a dual-ended brush. This is from It Cosmetics. The thing I like about this, I believe it's actually a foundation brush, but you know what? A brush is a brush. It doesn't know the difference. So we're going to use this one. I'm going to use this shaped end here. This is going to be for the bronzer or the contouring low. We're going to not use the hair though. And then this big end right here is going to be for the highlight. So we're going to take this. We're just going to be using that Hula color today, which is their #1 selling color. So we're just going to tap that in a little bit. Just above the cheekbone there. Same thing on the other side. It's going to go up against that hairline there. Hit that jawline. Try to give the illusion I have more of a jawline and Less of a double chin. There we go. We're going to give just a little on either side of the nose. Kind of thin that out a little bit. There you go. Just a little fine tuning. All right. Then we're going to come in with our blush. Today I'm going to be using the Too Faced palette. This particular one is the Too Faced Christmas in New York. And then we're going to be using the Park Avenue Princess right here. So for this one, I'm going to be using a traditional brush blush. I believe this one is a MAC Cosmetics. So we're just going to come straight at that. And just above where we just put all that bronzer contour there. I'm going to come in there. Just on top there. I like to hit this just a little bit. Tip of the nose, middle of the chin. All right. And then we are going to finish off our contouring with a little Too Faced. This one is the Too Faced Pinker Times Ahead. This is their cheek popper. This is a beautiful sparkly pink color. If you don't like sparkle, that's fine. You don't have to use sparkle, but I think sparkle's good. And we're going to go on the top of that bone, just above where we just put that blush. Going to hit down the center of the face and then making sure to catch that Cupid's bow right here. We want to make sure we give a little bit of light there so that when we put our lipstick and our lip liner on, it's going to really enhance and give a nice heart shape right there. All right, so that concludes our contouring there. So let's take a little bit of a look at our verse for this week again. So our verse for this week is God's grace is all you need. And that comes from 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. Don't forget to do your coloring sheet as well, because while you're doing that, you can say that verse over and over again in your mind, and that will help you to retain the verse a little bit better. So let's see. Now we've got the contouring done, so we are going to jump into our lips. Today, like I said, we're doing orange. So today we're going to be using Urban Decay, and this particular one is the 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil, and this color is called Bang. So I like my lip liner to be, well, depending on the look. In this particular case, it's going to be about the same color of the lipstick. We're just using it to definitely define the lips so that it gets a really great crisp shape and that it stays all day. So let's take a look at this. Here we go. All right. And again, we don't want that like liney look. So we're going to go just to the inside of what we just did, a little bit lighter pressure so that we get a nice blend out. There you go. Just give a look from a distance. Make sure you've got your lips shaped evenly. There we are. And now we are going to put on our lipstick. For today, we're using a plumper lipstick. This is by Buxom. Let me see if I can find the front of that. There you go. This Buxom lipstick is the Full Force Plumping Lipstick, and this is in the color Powerhouse. This is a really nice orange color, and plus the plumping is super nice too. Some plumpers give a lot of tingle. This one's just a little bit. So really, this isn't any different from like putting on Carmex or something. And then you're just going to fill in what you've done. Because your lip pencil is practically the same color, it is going to blend out to where you can't really tell where everything stops and starts, but it gives you a nice finished, perfect look on those lips. So now we are going to jump into our eyes. And today, again, we're going to be using a Juvia's Place. This particular palette, which is brand new to me, is the Wahala 2. And we're going to be using some of the shades here, sticking with these. I don't think I can do this. There we go, with the orange shades right here. Then we're going to drop down and use this shade for a little definition and giving some depth to our coloring today. So let's start out with the lighter color. We're going to start out with Shikara. And we are just going to be using an all over brush. This is a It Cosmetics. So starting out with that Shikara, and we're just going to be going on the top of that brow bone today with that. Fill that in. Other side. Just giving us a nice illumination and lift up on that brow bone. There we go. All right, and now we are going to move to a regular shadow brush. I believe this one is a MAC. Sorry, the numbers were off. I would share that with you as well. And we're going to be using the color Wasted, which is a lot of orange. So super fun. A little fun note for you. If you have blue eyes, you will love using orange shadows because your eyes will definitely pop from this. This color is a matte. The color we were using previously is a frost. So don't be afraid to mix those two together. I know a lot of people get all wrapped up in rules. You can't do this, you can't do that, whatever. You know how you want to look. You know what makes you feel good when you wear it. So do what you want to do. All right, there's that. I have ladies all the time who come in and tell me, I'm such and such an age. I'm too old. I can't wear frost anymore. Yes, you can. If you want to wear it, wear it. Yes, that was me. I just blew a raspberry. Okay, so we're just going over where the orange meets the white there. We're just going to take our brush and go over it a few times to kind of blend those two together. First in the orange side, then to the white side, then the white side to the orange side. You get the point. We're just kind of blending those together so that it looks like we've got one beautiful seamless line there. This is not the part where we want lines. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to take the ASAP, which was that darker color that I told you about, and we're going to add a little bit of definition to the outside corner. Right now, when you look at the eyes, you can see that it's sort of plain. So we're going to fix that. So we're going to take this brush here, which I believe is a crease brush from MAC. And we're just going to dip that a little bit into that ASAP. And by little bit, I mean seriously, like just the tip of it, go like that. And then we're going to go to the outside here. And we're going to make a V. Well, I guess it'd be a sideways V. A less than, greater than sign. Anyways. Hey, actually using some of that math. Okay, we're going to go right up underneath where that brow bone is. You can feel your bone. And we're just going to give a little bit of definition. So if you can see between the two eyes now, you can see this one definitely has a little more intensity and depth than this one does. So let's do that same thing to this other side here. Again, we're just tapping the tip in. We're going to start in the outside corner to where the most color deposits there, and then just work our way up a little bit. There we go. And if you end up with any fallout, fancy word, anything on your cheek while you've got it there. We've already put the powder on our face, so we've got that set there. Take you a little fluffy brush like this and just whisk it away. And we're just going to kind of go over that area a little bit, make sure we've got it blended out a little. And you can keep going over it until it is the level of intensity that you would like. A little less color if you want it to be a little more natural, a little more color if you're like me. Okay. And then I'm going to take the orange and just blend a little over this top part here. Blend a little over this top part here. There you go. Now it's a little smoother. All right, so a little sparkle, right? You know, I'm like the sparkle. So we're going to take this color here. This color is called 419. I have no idea what that means, but we're going to take that one. This time we're not going to use a brush. We're just going to use the tip of our finger. So, well, better to use your middle finger. You're just going to take it. You're going to kind of tap it in. You're going to get a little bit on your finger, and then we're just going to press it in on the top of that. We don't want too much. We just want a little bit. So I'm kind of just going in the middle of that V right there so that the brown is not disturbed. I'm about ready to sneeze. Excuse me. Sorry. Dip your finger in there again. We're going to catch the other side. If I was ambidextrous, I could do this with the other hand and then you'd be able to see better, but alas, I'm not ambidextrous. Okay, there we go. Just get that glitter exactly where you want it and exactly how much of it that you want. There we go. All right. And now we are going to, now that we've got the orange all there, so usually what I do is I'll look straight ahead and see if there's enough of the orange or whatever color it is I'm using. If enough of that goes above my brow bone. Now you can see right now, this has a little more orange above it than this one does. So I'm just going to take this brush, probably really not any need to put any more on it. Well, maybe. And we're just going to even out so that when I look straight ahead, I've got the same amount of orange exposed on this side as I do on this side. Okay. So to finish this out, we are going to use our eyeliner pencil. This is the NYX Retractable in Black. And then we're also going to be using the KVD. Well, nope, today I'm not using KVD. Today I have the NYX liquid Epic liquid liner, and this is in the color black. So we're going to be using these two things. So we're going to start with the retractable pencil first. Just going to have a little bit coming out there. And let's see if I can, there we go. We're just going to line from the outside corner of that top lid to about halfway due to my eye shape. It tends to open up the eye a little bit more. If you do that line all the way across, you've now closed it. There's not any openness. So we're just going to do that halfway. Here we go. And then on the bottom, we're going to be doing that same thing. Just going about halfway across there. Okay. We are going to be putting on lashes today. So I think lashes stick a little bit better if they're on the liquid liner versus an eyeshadow. So that gives us the need for the Epic, the Epic ink liner. So there we go. This has a nice tip on it. I can't tell if this is actually a felt tip or if this is a pen tip. If this is a brush tip, it's very fine. This is super easy to use. I am not gifted in the application of liquid eyeliner, so if I can do this with this, you can do it too. I do like to give it a little bit of a shake before I, oh man. I do like to give it a little bit of a shake before I start working with it. Just kind of helps to get the juices flowing there. This we are going to do from corner to corner on the top lid. When we get to the past the halfway mark, though, it's going to be a very thin line. So we're not trying to close off the eye. Here we go. So from the outside corner, working our way to the inside there. The other thing that this does for you when you're wearing lashes is it keeps you from having a skin line. If you've seen anybody wear this, you know what I'm talking about. Where their lashes get put on just a little too far back, and then you can see their flesh between the line of the lashes, the lash strip, and then their lash line. You don't want that. So this will also prevent that from happening should your lash application end up a little higher than what you would typically want. So we're just gonna go that, and then we're gonna go from the outside edge, line that in. Okay, there we go. So now we have the top part is mostly finished, but if you look on that bottom, you can see that it looks a little harsh with just having that liner all by itself. So we're going to come back in with an eyeliner brush. I believe this one is a MAC one as well, but any brush will work like this. So this side here, we're just going to drag that through the shadow just a little bit. We just want a little bit of shadow on here. So for today, I'm going to be using, I think I'll use the Wasted, which was my lighter orange color. So you just tap a little bit on there, and then we're going to cover over that the pencil eyeliner that we did and give it a little bit of a smaller, softer appearance. Do the same thing on the other side. You're also using it as kind of a liner on the inside there. And that brings the color from the top down below the eye as well. I don't usually use the glitter colors down below the line like this. If you're older like me and you've got kind of a little bit of wrinkly going on there, sometimes those glitter colors will kind of get into your wrinkles and accentuate them. We don't need to accentuate them. Okay. If you have younger skin or a different shaped eye, feel free, knock yourself out. Put a little glitter on the outside. Okay. So now to complete our eye look, we need to do our brows. So for me, because I have pink hair, we are going to be using the Pazillion Eyebrow Gel. And this was in the color, it's 05. I think it's just called pink. So if you have like regular colored hair, then I would highly suggest that you get over to your nearest benefit art expert, like Olivia at our store, and have her match you with a brow color so that you've got the right color on there. Whether you choose the same color, you like it a little darker, maybe you prefer it a little lighter, whatever your treasure, she can help you out. Okay, so we're going to take that eyebrow gel. Actually, yeah. Okay, so take that eyebrow gel and you're just going to ever so slightly cover those brows. I'd like to kind of jostle the hair a little bit so you're getting it from every direction here, and then just lay it back down. And you can see I got a little heavy-handed right there. There we go. Just wipe that away. I see a couple more of you join me. Hello. Good to have you here today. Maybe one day I'll be gifted enough to be chatting with you while I'm doing this, but unfortunately today's not that day. Okay, so here we go. I do see you though, and I appreciate you. Love your comments, and good morning to you as well. All right, just kind of getting from every direction on the hair there. And I'm so envious. Some of you have the most beautiful brows. I've seen some of your pictures come through. God did not give me nice thick brows, which happens to be the trend right now. But when the trend rolls back around to skinny, thin brows, I got it. So when you got your brows about where you want, there you go. If you like that kind of laminated brow look, then grab you, your Anastasia or a brow setter or soap or whatever it is that you're using and set those brows hairs in place. Mine don't go anywhere because I don't have very many of them, so I do not have to worry about that. Okay, so we are getting ready to do our lashes, but guess what time it is? It is time to look at our verse. So our verse for this week is, oh, if I can click on it and get it to show. There we go. Our verse for this week is God's grace is all you need. And that's coming from 2 Corinthians 12, verse 9. And again, you're going to see that scrolling through the bottom as we are doing this. So let's take a look at our eyelashes now. I have very white, pale eyelashes. I'm not even sure if you can see them on the screen, but there you go. See, they're like white kind of. So if I put black lashes on top of this, I'm going to end up with this like funky little white lashy looking thing. So we are going to put some mascara, just one cut up on the top, and then do the bottom lashes. I do love my bottom lashes though. Okay, I am using the eyelash curler. This is from Tarte. Making sure that I get all my lashes in there. Usually I hold it for, I don't know, about 15 seconds. So if I say the verse while I'm doing this, it's usually about right. Actually, our verse this week is a little short, but anyways, God's grace is all you need. 2 Corinthians 12:9. Go to the other side. God's grace is all you need. 2 Corinthians 12:9. And then that's about time right for that. This is the Tarte. This is their tubing mascara. One of my favorites. It does a great job coating those lashes and keeping them individual. And we're just going to do one lash. Ooh, that's lovely. Okay, if your mascara does that, where you get the kind of goopy on there, you just take a tissue and wipe it off, put it back in, and try it again. There we go. Evidently, it is time for a new tube of tubing mascara. And once again, we're just trying to cover those lashes to a black color so that when I put the lashes on, it is going to look like I have one kind of lash. There we go. Making sure to sweep back from the back side so you catch all those tips. Okay, let's go to the other side now. All right. And evidently I have a lash gone crazy. I don't know if you can see that or not. He's like, totally, I'm not having any part of this. I'm going to go the wrong direction for you today. That's all right. Okay, now those bottom lashes, we are going to catch those. Get a little on you. No worries. Get it off really quick. There you go. Yeah, I definitely think I'm going to need another tube of this. There we go. Sweeping it back on the back side of those lashes so that we're getting them totally covered. Okay. Other side. I hope y'all have been having fun learning these verses. I know it has been wonderful for me. Some of these verses are refreshers, and some of these verses are ones I've heard and known, but have just not taken them to heart yet. So it is so cool though, how when you memorize these verses, how much the need for them is going to come about. The other day I was trying to install a stove in my kitchen. And well, actually, it was a cabinet. It was a cabinet over a stove. And while I was installing that cabinet, I had a little technical difficulty. And I don't know how many times I said to myself, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. So funny thing is though, I learned that actually as a song in Vacation Bible School like years ago. And so every time I hear the verse, I always say, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13. So if that helps you, if a song helps you to remember it, you know what? Make a song up. Or maybe you remember one from, when you were in Vacation Bible School, or maybe you taught Vacation Bible School and that was a song that you taught the kids. Those things are all going to help you to remember that verse and to keep that verse near and dear to your heart. Okay, I think we got the bottom lashes going. So let's take a look at the lashes. For today, we are going to be using the Juvia's Place. This is the Nubian lash, and this is going to be in Royalty. One of my favorites. This one is one of the natural lash volumes, so it's not quite as full as some of the others. So if you do not like, the big, full, big lash thing, then just reach for whatever brand. Kiss Lashes and the Juvia's Place are probably my favorites, but reach for those ones that are going to give you a little bit of volume, but not like be over the top. Like the Big and Bold from Kiss that's out now, that's not going to be your friend if that's not what you like. So on our lash here, today we're going to be using the Super Strong Kiss Lash Glue. And the one thing I like about this glue is, number one, shake the glue before you go putting it on. Always a good help. But I love the applicator on this because you just have this like nice thin plastic brush kind of thing. So we're just going to coat the strip lash on the top. We're going to give a little of it on the back side here. We want to make sure that every part of that lash band has some glue on it so that when we go to put it on, it's going to go on and stay on. I do not want to have to touch up my lashes halfway through the day. And if you're like me, I store my lashes in the container that they come in so that they end up nice and so that they stay clean. I do clean off the glue at night before, well, when I first take them off, I'll pick the glue off if there's any, and then store them in that little lash container. That way the band stays the shape it's supposed to be, and then the lashes are protected and my cats don't find them. All right, so we're just going to use our little lash tool. The lash tools that are my favorite are the velours. So if you don't have a lash tool that you're loving, check those out. We're just going to let that dry really quick. And as soon as that's just about set, we're going to take that lash and set it. We're going for the middle, right down up against that lash line, setting it down. Then we're going to grab the outside tip and we're going to get that right up against that lash line there. I think I got a little glue on there. So let's wipe that off before I go to the inside. There we go. Then we're going to grab the inside of the lash and we're going to put it right where it should be up against that lash tool. There we go. Then take our lashes and make sure they're blending in with the lash itself. Just going to press and make sure everything is touching where it should be. Checking that inside corner. There we go. Voila. One lash down and my mirror is down. So that's always a fun thing. All right. And I don't know about you, but I like to be able to see really close up. So I always have a magnifying mirror on hand to be able to get things done and be able to see them. So because I wear contacts help me to see far away, but then I can't see close up. So this is my see close up. Again, we're going to take that lash and we are going to set it right there in the middle of the lash line, right where the lashes meet your eyelid there. And on this eye, I'm going to start out on the inside, get that lash to the skin there, outside, take that lash, walk it around to the outside edge there. We're just going to walk around, make sure that it is touching. Okay, and take a look, make sure it is where it is supposed to be. Yes, it is. All right, so, you know, in looking at this, I actually think I would like a little bit of sparkle on the bottom there. So I'm going to take that liner brush that I had out earlier, and I'm going to put just a little bit of that sparkle there, and we're just going to grab a little bit and put it right there. There you go. Just a little something, something right there on the bottom. Okay, and now the last thing that we need to do is set our makeup. We're going to be using the Urban Decay De-Slick today. Just give it a little bit of a shake. Tip your head back. Fan it down. Ta-da! There we go. Now you have an orange look for today. I guess I need to pick out some orange clothes to go with my orange look today. So thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. I look forward to chatting with you throughout the week on social media, or better yet, come and see me at my store in Midlothian, Texas. So let's kind of do a little bit of review of what we've got going on so far. So the first verse that we had for episode 1 was, "The grass withers and the flowers fall, but the word of the Lord endures forever." 1 Peter 1:24 and 25. And then our second verse that we had is, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." Philippians 4:13. And our verse together today and for this week is going to be, "God's grace is all you need." 2 Corinthians 12:9. And again, our verses are all coming from the Word in Color Why Round coloring book. You can see that link down below. There is going to be a contest this week going on where you could actually win that book. So be checking the social media, either my Wendy Merritt or Little Bit of Makeup, Whole Lot of Jesus accounts. And you will see what it is that you need to do and how it is that you could win your copy of that coloring book. You can find A Little Bit of Makeup and a Whole Lot of Jesus on your favorite platforms, podcasting platforms, YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook. You get the drill. So until we meet again, my friends, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. And this comes from Numbers chapter 6, verse 24 and 25. So before we leave today, let me pray for us together today. Father, I thank you so much for my podcast friends and online friends joining me this morning. And I just pray that you would be with us this week as we learn this verse together and as we go over the other verses that we have learned. Father, that you would help us to just hide your word in our hearts so that we will not sin against you. Oh, thank you, gracious and mighty King, for hanging out with us here this morning as we enjoy Jesus together. Be with my friends this week and give them a blessed week. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thank you. And y'all have a beautiful week this week.